Hey everybody, it's your boy Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Cinema Draft game, and it just occurred to me, those of you who watch the YouTube video can see it is 1:28 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, August 29th. It is Monday evening for me, but Tuesday morning for most everybody else. Coming at you with your weekend preview or your weekend review some call sheets from the past weekend, check out the box office action, and preview what we've got coming up on tap next weekend. Also, I just want to, I'm feeling kind of sad, little blue. I mean, Game of Thrones is over. It's not going to come back probably for a year and a half, knowing those guys. Went out with a bang, literally, John and Danny. We'll probably get into that in the hour long, which I'll be recording later on tonight. But also, I discovered I was on the late train about this one. I'd heard rumors and rumblings about this. For this, I have to thank our guest from earlier in this week, Julian Smith, aka the official science guy of the pod. We'll be reviewing his call sheet in a moment, but I think he's one to turn me on to The Expanse. My God, this show is incredible. So much fun. Oh my God, I enjoyed it so much. It's so good. Based on a set of books, I believe. Had an 8 episode, was it? No, a 10 episode first season, a 13 episode second season, coming back for a 13 episode third season. I can't wait. It was motherfucking lit. Oh my God, so good. So good. It's really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I think I blew through all 23 episodes in like 2.5 days, whatever. I've got no life. I am officially team, #team, no wife, no life. I just work on Cinema Draft and I did laundry on Saturday and I just ate these episodes up. It is really good. It is so good. It's a futuristic version. Well, it's a future. So first of all, sci-fi. People like to call it Game of Thrones in space, and it's not. That's a pretty accurate, description. I don't. I can't dispute that. I mean, the sets are really cool. It looks like they put a lot of time and money into building this future, and even more importantly to some people like your Neil deGrasse Tysons, they got the science right. From what I heard, they got the science right, which is something that a lot of these, science fiction shows just kind of play fast and loose with. But you got real astronauts and astronomers, on board as like consultants. Frankie Adams, who comes on season 2 as Bobby Draper. I mean, first of all, she's hot. Second of all, she's tall. Third of all, she's like from New Zealand, so her New Zealand accent is like really strong. But it's the future, so it doesn't really matter. What it's about. So basically, to give you a quick rundown, it's basically about 200 years in the future. We've colonized Mars, we've colonized the moon, and we've colonized like the asteroid belt. And you've got these three distinct personality types of people: the Earthers, people from Earth; the Martians, people who live and were born and live on Mars mostly; and then the Belters, who are like kind of like your Appalachians, kind of. That was Appalachian, but basically your working class. Mars and the Earth are both really developed. Earth, we've totally trashed our resources, but we're dealing with it. The UN, the United Nations, which basically controls the Earth and the Moon, are based out of New York. You've got Belter. She's a Belter. She grew up out there on the asteroid belt. They basically are like miners, like a mining culture. They mine resources for the Earthers and Mars, and Earth and Mars are about to go to war. It's not like this isn't like North Korea. Well, actually, I wouldn't say North Korea, United States. It's more. As far as size goes, they make it sound like it is, similar to North Korea, United States versus, whereas the Earthers, Earth is like, big, a lot of resources, whatever. The size of our army is, dwarfs that of Mars, but Mars is like a militarized culture where they really, put in the time and the work to just focus on defending themselves and terraforming Mars so that you can live on it like Earth. And just all these like factions going at each other. The Belters resent the Martians and the Earthers, they basically use them for the resources. They basically are mining water out of like these asteroid belts out there between, I guess, Mars and Jupiter, maybe Saturn. I get them confused, but it's really involved. A lot of like arcs at play, a lot of politics. That's why they call it like Game of Thrones in space. A lot of politics involved, and also like Game of Thrones, they don't care who gets got. When I mean, major characters will lose their head literally. Episodes in, I mean, they just kind of get rid of like people who serve their purpose. Like major characters just get got, like Ned Stark, Robb Stark style. So just I mean, I would say don't get too attached to anyone, but it's really, really, really sophisticated storytelling, and it just happens to take place 200 years in the future. And all this stuff feels real, like it feels lived in. It feels like all these these warring factions that have been at play forever. It feels lived in. It feels like a future that makes sense. Kind of like how you first felt like when you saw Star Wars. Like, yeah, you're kind of blown away with like the set design and the creatures and stuff like that, but it felt like a lived in galaxy long time ago, far, far away. Same here. It's 200 years in the future. Everything feels real-ish. The science feels cool and real, and I just really dug it. I actually misclicked it. I was actually on Amazon Prime trying to go to another show instead. I misclicked it, by accident on this one. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's see about this Game of Thrones in space. But it really is good. It's really, really good. I enjoyed it. I am now like, I don't know what these people are called, expansers. I don't know. And I love me some Frankie Adams, the 23-year-old star from New Zealand who plays a Martian. She plays like a Martian gunnery sergeant, and she's just like, and she basically comes from like a war family, so she's super serious like this all the time, and the stakes are incredibly high for her, and she gets involved in some stuff that it's just really interesting seeing her thrown into this mix, and I loved having like those like. Because you basically how in Game of Thrones on Sunday, for the first time in like 7 seasons, we see all of our main characters in one place at one time. Cersei, Jon, Daenerys, Tyrion, all these, Jaime, all these people, that we've grown to love from all these different walks of life, different, kingdoms, whatever, in one place, one time. I love how they're kind of setting this up as well on these parallel tracks of like, people on Earth doing Earth things, people on Mars doing Mars things, people on the Belt doing Belt things, and our hero James Holden, who kind of crosses all of these different cultures. It's really, really compelling stuff. I enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. 23 episodes. It will go by in the dream. Yeah, there goes Cuddy. Cuddy from the Gut. Your boy Chad L. Coleman from The Wire, and I guess also I guess he had like a long stint on The Walking Dead too. He plays an integral role too. Fred Johnson, like a terrorist who's trying to form, who's just out to represent the interests of the Belt. He's kind of regarded as like a terrorist. He used to be an Earther, but eventually switched sides and kind of became like a working man's hero for the Belters out there in the Belt, the asteroid belt. It's just really, really well done. And it's a future. This is what I really love about The Expanse. It's a multicultural future, which is going to happen. Matter of fact, I think I read somewhere, was it like America will be majority minority by 2040, 2050, something like that. So get used to seeing a lot of this, a lot of ethnically ambiguous people, because we're gonna fuck our way into a majority minority culture, and I love seeing Black people in space doing so. We're not the first ones to die. We're not on the sidelines. I love and the GOAT, here she is. She is the GOAT, Shohreh Aghdashloo. I always mess up her last name, but Shohreh is putting in work. First of all, she's got that voice. It sounds like she, either had, broken glass for breakfast or smokes 3.5 packs a day. But she's got this voice that can, she's Iranian. I think she's like Iranian. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if she's like Iranian American. She's Iranian and has this voice, and you see her in a lot of different stuff, and she talks like this, and it's kind of intimidating because her diction is perfect, but a heavy Iranian accent, and she just cuts through these dudes like nothing. Like she's in the middle of this one interrogation. This is actually the scene from where she's interrogating interrogating someone, and her antagonist, her opponent, is like, "Are we done here? Where are we going with this line of questions?" She's like, "It's gonna go anywhere the fuck I want it to." I'm like, whoa! And she has a gravitas to her voice. And I love her. I've always loved her as an actress, but damn, this is a really good role for her. I saw her in an interview say that she's been acting for 35 years and she's never seen anything like this as far as like a role for her. She plays the undersecretary at the UN, so basically kind of like a vice, like almost like a vice president with teeth, and she's this really, really, really compelling actor, and her character's got a lot to do as well. And I just love seeing this multicultural future that. The future is now, but I just love seeing this multicultural future where where it's not just one vision of it. It's a multicultural version where everyone gets to some say, everyone gets to play. I love it. I mean, yeah, and it just feels real to me. All this stuff felt really real to me. Whew, okay, all right. So I'm gonna stop because I could probably go on about this stuff for hours. The Expanse, check it out. It's only 2 seasons in, so not far up to catch. Not too far to catch up. All right, so we're gonna go on to some call sheets. Damn it, because I just was on one. All right, so here we go. It was a lackluster, to say the least, weekend at the box office. It was actually downright terrible. I did warn you guys, and we were going to see some record low scores in the Cinema Draft game. So let's get to it. Winning for the first time, winning his first feature presentation. I don't know if it was a guest appearance, luck or what on the podcast, but the official science guy, and I think the dude who put me onto The Expanse, the official science guy of the pod, Julian Smith, aka Drew.Zod, which is a shout out to General Zod's full name from Superman 2. Let's take a look at this call sheet. How did he pull this off? I don't even lie to you. I'm still kind of in shock. How do you do this? Because first of all, it's a star-studded call sheet. It's an all-star call sheet, all headliners. Number 2, he had, now usually we say pick a strategy and lean into it, but this one, because it was such a flat box office weekend where nothing really was jumping out at you, he decided he was going to diversify the risk, spread the wealth, and he decided he wanted a little piece of everything. So he's got a headliner stack from Hitman's Bodyguard. In most cases, we saw, another high-performing call sheet. We saw a 3-pack of Hitman's Bodyguard. But he went with the headliner stack. We see Annabelle Creation headliner stack. We see Dunkirk headliner stack. We see Birth of a Dragon headliner stack. Do you see like a theme going here? This is almost like the Noah's Ark of call sheets. Everything's lining up 2 by 2. Logan Lucky, a lone headliner. Terminator 2 alone headliner. And what's really smart about this strategy, why it really worked, is that he's not overexposed. Now, what I mean by that, he's not overexposed to anything that doesn't work. If one of these movies doesn't work or doesn't perform, like, say, a Logan Lucky, it's just one actor. He's not. It doesn't cost him anything, really. I mean, we saw some really audacious strategies going into the weekend. Some I really championed. Ring balls. And I was pulling for you ring balls, but that's a perfect example of he just got overexposed on a weekend where it looks like we didn't really need to be. Like, you didn't need to have a high variance strategy to win this weekend because nothing was going to perform highly. So this is a very play it safe strategy. Just get, a pair of everything, a headliner stack of everything. Logan Lucky, you would think was a bit of a misfire, but it didn't cost him. Actually, it propelled him to win because it was cheap and it was safe. So the moral for this past weekend was this was a weekend for safety. And occasionally, the safe play wins. Well done, Drew.Zod. Very excited to see my guest of honor in the hour-long last week ascend to the top. Enjoy that 46-25, my brother. All right. Number 2 was the God of Cheese, and he also ends up with our call sheet of the week. Now, this isn't the call sheet of the week. We'll get to that in a moment. But he left 1,100 on the table, and he had a 3-pack of Hitman's Bodyguard, headliner stack from Annabelle Creation, headliner stack from All Saints, which, considering its genre of faith-based films, totally bombed. This movie, what did it do? It really did not do what we thought it was going to do. It did, let's get to the right weekend. Here we go. It only did about 7.68 million. It's terrible, 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 terrible. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Annabelle Creation. Sorry. All Saints only did 1.5 million on 846 screens, which is not setting the world on fire in limited release. And remember, limited release, you get 1 point per 500,000, per 500,000 per actor. So this really didn't get us what we thought it would do. So basically, with the headliner bonus, 4.34 points. And here's the one that kind of cost a lot of us, and this is what I mean by not being overexposed. A gentleman, Sundar Sushila Risky. I mean, anyone who had this on their call sheet did not end up winning, only because it underperformed. I thought it was going to be on 135 screens. I thought it was a safe bet. I don't know what's going on with the Indian films lately in America. I mean, where's our, what was that movie that came out of nowhere? I mean, we're always looking for a repeat of that one movie that came out of nowhere for like 2 million, 3 million its opening weekend. This definitely was not it. Birth of a Dragon headliner stack, that's fine. I mean, so this is a very solid call. She's just, he cost himself a little bit with A Gentleman, but really, I mean, All Saints, and we couldn't have called that one. There are so many times we see these limited release faith-based films that do like 7, 8, 9 million, especially on a weekend without a lot of competition like this, and it just shit the bed. All Saints, but otherwise, very well done call sheet. Let's take a look at his call sheet of the week. This is actually last week's call sheet of the week. Let's go to, there we go. Let's go to our call sheet of the week, and that would be the God of Cheese's background talent. See, so this is why it does pay to just, experiment, play around with different constructions, because he actually got his call sheet of the week in our cheapest contest, the $10 background talent. Now, in this one, he still led with a 3-pack Hitman's Bodyguard, but in this case, he reduces exposure to All Saints. He has almost a star-studded call sheet. Nine headliners and only one non-headliner. Annabelle Creation headliner stack. Terminator 2 Judgment Day headliner stack. That's where he picked up some extra points, because that performed about as well as I thought it would. About 582,000 in limited release. Oh, no, sorry, in platform release, and at 1 point per 100,000 in platform release. That proved to be, that got him a good 7 points with the headliner bonus. What else? Oh, the Birth of the Dragon headliner stack, and then yes, and so reducing his exposure to All Saints and picking up the extra points from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, was crucial. So, and it was going to be a balancing act. Anyone who had too much Terminator 2 was going to find themselves overexposed, because you're only getting 7 points, a little less than 8 points out of your headliners, and about 5 and change out of your non-headliners. So if you had too many, the real value was in the headliners for Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and that's where the God of Cheese excelled. He found where the value was. He got it. He got it out of the headliners. 93.14 points, our highest scoring call sheet on the site this week. Congratulations. Enjoy that extra $25 for the bonus. Okay, in a close third, Gamble 24x7. 86.80 points. And on this one, he had the 3-pack of Hitman's Bodyguard, headliner stack Annabelle Creation, headliner stack of Birth of the Dragon, headliner stack from All Saints, and his only misfire a little bit was The Only Living Boy in New York, which underperformed. It only got us, The Only Living Boy in New York, only got us 2.52 points for headliner on 180,000 in box office. Okay, moving on. Next one is Matt. First time, long time. 4th place. I think he actually won. I think Matt won a contest outright. Yeah, he won the Best Boys first win. Congratulations. 88.58 points in that one. And this one, 86.52. Let's see what Matt was thinking. And really proud of Matt, really excited for Matt. He's been with us almost from the first contest. Really love seeing the growth of our players. And so in this one, he had the headliner stack of Annabelle Creation, headliner stack of Hitman's Bodyguard. This is actually, you know, this is, it goes without saying, he had a all-star call sheet. All 10 actors were headliners. Headliner stack from Dunkirk. Schwarzenegger from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. All Saints, and a headliner for Elle Fanning from Leap. Now, I will say this. I'm going to go on record with this only because I noticed this after hand scoring was done. Once they adjusted, it seemed like Box Office Mojo came in. I mean, well, they all adjusted theirs after I'd scored them out, but it looks like after scoring was completed, the finals. The final score for Leap was 4.73 million. At the time of scoring, the information we had it at 5.02 million. That score is going to stand. We can only go by what we have at the time that we do the scoring. So you actually got it. So you actually got a few like a point and some change extra on it. So enjoy those extra points. Matt, I did notice that afterwards. I was a little bummed, but I can't go back and rescore every time they do an adjustment after we finished our hand scoring. So Leap, headliner from that, Elle Fanning, 7.03 points, and Jeremy Renner in Wind River, 6.17 points for 86.52. Well played, Matt. Enjoy the extra point. And rounding up the top 5, The Roan, to be my guest on the hour long tonight, Henry G. The Roan. He had the 3-pack of Hitman's Bodyguard, headliner stack from Annabelle Creation, headliner stack from All Saints. Billy Magnuson headlining Birth of the Dragon, not the Nation, the Dragon. And then what let him down, like most of us, was A Gentleman, Sundar Sushil Risky. All 3 of them gentlemen let us down with only 2.66 points as a headliner. And this one, he had 9 out of 10 headliners, 82.04 points. Good for 5th place. Let's go off the board real quick to review a call sheet. You know what? We always look at, let's take a look at, well, we know what happened with Ring Balls. Just real quick, Ring Balls went all in on A Gentleman, did not work out well. I was rooting for you, Ring Balls. He had a max stack of A Gentleman, which means he had 8 actors from A Gentleman up on there. And as you can see, it totally underperformed. And also, rounding out his call sheet, he had John Corbett headlining All Saints and Samuel L. from the Hitman's Bodyguard. Good for, quote unquote, good for only 35.42 points. Not sure if that's a Cinema Draft record low, but it's pretty damn close. But we'll see you at the top next week. We know you're good for it. Oh, well, we have a tie with the Draft Mom and Ray Kinsella. Let's take a look at Ray Kinsella's. A newer player, just outside of the money. Let's see what he had here. So if I do believe last week he didn't have enough headliners, this week a market improvement, only left 400 remaining. So he's almost there. He had a 3-pack of Hitman's Bodyguard, Annabelle Creation headliner stack. So that's in line with conventional thinking with the top players. Also, what might have cost him some points was Dunkirk headliner, kind of pricey. Crown Heights just did the minimum. I mean, well, actually, it did chart, but it didn't chart very much. I think it only made like 40 grand. So that was a bit of a misfire, although I like the ambition. Atomic Blonde just doesn't have much in the tank anymore, especially if you don't have a headliner. So 1.72 points there. It's 5,500 that he probably could have spent. I mean, he probably could have gotten even more out of like a headliner from A Gentleman, and we know that bombed. So that could have gotten him an extra point or so, which might have got him in the money. And Last Castle, I mean, he could have done worse, but didn't do what he hoped it would do. Otherwise, very close to making the money. Got into a virtual tie with my mother, the Draft Mom, Claudette Jackson. And yeah, just a few points out of 9th place, which would have gotten him in the money. All right, let's take a look at some of the new. Oh, that's not it. Let's take a look at some of the new. Drag this over here. Movies in this week. We only have 4 new entrants because there's really nothing to fight for this week. Now, I mean, they really are throwing in the towel, and even more abnormally than most for studio executives. Get Big, never heard of it. It's on 7 screens in AMC. Might want to avoid. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. They're re-releasing it on 700 screens, y'all. So, yeah, it's going to be that kind of weekend. Tulip Fever, oft delayed. I'm curious about this. I'm not sure if I would pay money to see it in the theater this weekend, but if it comes on like Amazon or something, you know, I'll definitely watch it. I'm curious, only because Tulip Fever kind of refers to Tulip Mania. For those of you who watched Wall Street Money Never Sleeps, like that sequel with Shia LaBeouf and Michael Douglas, basically, you know, they allude to the whole Tulip Mania. Basically, it's what a lot of smart guy financial types like to try that anytime they say, "Oh, Bitcoin's a bubble," or whenever there's something they don't really understand. They call it kind of Tulip Mania, because I guess back in like 1600, 1700, Holland, tulips for some reason just really took off in price, and anytime there's a bubble, you know, I mean, it had no underlying financial fundamentals basically. So that's why when they call it, oh, it's just like Tulip Mania, like Bitcoin or whatever. And trust me, Bitcoin's not a bubble. I've been in it since 2013. That's a different story. blacksandbitcoin.com, that's my site. Anytime there's some sort of commodity that they don't understand, they liken it to tulips. So I'm very intrigued to see how Tulip Fever plays into all of this. And I know it's been released overseas, but it's been delayed a while over here, which is never a good look for some of these movies. You know, really good cast. I mean, so I don't know, I'm intrigued. Yeah. So an artist falls for a young married woman while he's commissioned to paint her portrait during the Tulip Mania of 17th century Amsterdam. So yeah, that's what we're getting this weekend. Tulip Mania. Okay, and then finally, Hazlo Como Hombre. This is a Mexican film. So can we trust the 3F on 370 screens? I like the amount of screens it's on. I mean, I know we're scared to love again these foreign-based films, these foreign-focused films, but at some point we're gonna have to do it. So Hazlo Como Hombre might be worth taking a look at. All right, and so we'll go into it a little bit more in depth on the shot list, which I'll be recording later on tonight or Tuesday night, which will be up for consumption Wednesday morning. Thanks, everybody, for listening. You guys know what to do. Cinemadraft.co. That is cinemadraft.co. Follow all of our social media, like us, friend us, visit us, subscribe, like, comment, rate, help people discover this wonderful game. Spread the word. All right, and between now and the next time, y'all know what to do. Why don't you go see a movie or something?